Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ashish. I am working as a solutions consulting specialist for cloud networking and security with VMware. I am going to talk about certain nuances about cyber threat landscape and cybersecurity market today. And we'll go through the fundamentals of VMware NSX security as well. Throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, please note it down, put it in the chat window, and I'll answer the questions in the end of the session or even after that, and we can connect offline as well to address your questions. So let's see what I have in store for you today. First of all, we shall talk about global threat landscape, how it is evolving and kind of impact it is making into the industry. Then we'll go through how it translates to opportunities for us and how it is shaping up the cybersecurity market. Then we shall go through some cybersecurity credentials of VMware, and we shall dwell for some time in VMware NSX security section followed by that. So let's see how global threat landscape is evolving. So this is how traditional IT has broken down its environment into. So we have seen on-prem data centers, users and branches into the traditional IT environment. And the data center, has followed ubiquitously, this three-tier architecture of applications, web and databases. Then we started modernizing the applications with Kubernetes, with containers, and ephemeral functions as well. And the applications basically found their home outside the data center. It could be a SaaS application like Office 365, Salesforce, or the application may be residing into any public cloud, IaaS or PaaS environment coming in from public clouds like AWS, GCP, or Azure. The user environment has got distributed as well. With the pandemic, most of the users are working from home, and working from home is the new normal now. So with this entire phenomenon, the trusted perimeter has completely dissolved, and the attack surface has increased multifold. Let's look into some interesting numbers. Ransomware continues to drive the headlines, as one of my friends from the industry, Satish, also was talking about. So if we look at the numbers, every 11 seconds, a new organization is falling for ransomware attack. The number of ransomware attack per day has surpassed 4,000 mark. And more than half of the ransomware attacks now, adversaries have a double extortion motive. So they extend into the environment for a long time, and they steal the data, and they plan to sell the data as well, besides seeking ransom against the encryption that they are going to make into your environment. And the damage ransomware has caused was estimated to be about 20 billion in last year, 2021, and about 11.5 billion and 8 billion in 2019 and 18 respectively. If we look about threats outside ransomware, so most of the threats have been found to be using RDP as the protocol to penetrate into the environment and make lateral movement as well. And these RDP could be using brute force credentials, or it could be legitimate credentials as well. But RDP was the method which was found to be used in more than 75% of cyber threats. If we look into the attack vectors and actors nuances, so email attacks, email continues to be the most used attack vector. So it could be, most of the times a lucrative phishing email for which user falls, and then adversary gets a way to get into your environment. And out of the tactics and techniques defined in MITRE ATT&CK framework, defense evasion is found to be the most used attack tactic. Most of the adversaries are taking advantage of traditional sandboxing environment and scanning solutions, and which are not able to scan through the zipped files. So adversaries are encrypting or zipping the files and slipping through your environment. Uh, um, More than about quarter of the threats have been accounted to crypto mining activities from your environment. So there may be bots existing in your environment doing the crypto mining activities, and the organization would not be even aware of the same. Very basic, but communicating passwords in clear text still is a very prevalent activity. So adversaries take advantage of the same. They intercept the network communication, and if they get the clear text password, they get the keys to the kingdom. So let's see what is the cyber security market looking like. How can we help our customers solving their cyber security challenges? So the opportunity is huge. It's massive. The global cybersecurity market was valued at about 140 billion in 2021, and it is projected to grow about 156 billion in 2022, and to about 376 billion in 2029 with a CAGR of 13.4%. Now let's talk about security in VMware offerings. So security is in our DNA. We are not new to security. And market analysts also have mentioned about the same, that the prospects, the potential VMware has into the security space. So VMware has been designing virtualization products, imbibing all the security fundamentals like segmentation and multi-tenancy since start. And we have been acquiring pioneer security technologies as well, and integrating them with our core product line, as well as enhancing those security offerings, those products, as per the market needs, time to time. So it all started with the acquisition of Nikira in 2012, which laid the foundation of software-defined networking in VMware's portfolio. And subsequently, VMware developed distributed firewall, service-defined firewall, and IDPS as well, based on this technology itself. Then the key acquisition in this league was VeloCloud in 2017. VeloCloud is a leading SD-WAN and now a SASE solution into the market. Then we acquired RV Networks, which is a revolutionary application access and application delivery controller load balancing product with a lots of application security features also inbuilt into the same. 2019, Carbon Black needs no introduction. It's one of the best EDR and workload security solution available in the market. And then last but not the least, in 2020, VMware acquired Lastline as well, which is a leading NTA, network traffic analysis, and NDR tool. So this slide is probably going to surprise some of the people in this session. This basically depicts the scale and strength VMware has in the security space. So VMware has more than 30K customers being secured by its security products. 99 out of Fortune 100 companies are using VMware's security products, and their environment is spanning up to more than 510K branches. We have been rated as leader by Forrester in zero trust network access space, in endpoint security software as a service space, as well as we have been rated as one of the large firewall vendors by Forrester as well. We have been rated leader in Gartner's WAN Edge Infrastructure Quadrant as well. And if I talk about some volumetric numbers for VMware security, we basically blocked, in a given 90 days period of time, we blocked about 1.1 billion ransomware attacks. And kind of optimization our solutions bring to the throughput space as well is massive. We'll see in more details in the upcoming slides. This is the overall security portfolio for VMware, constituting 4 major towers. The first one being user security, which is offering authentication and behavior security features coming out of our Workspace ONE catalog. Then device security, where we are managing the security of the devices, your endpoints, your IoT mobile devices, and bolstering the organizations to achieve security compliances as well, and performing threat detection and response activities over your devices. This happens out of the offerings out of our Workspace ONE and Carbon Black catalogs. Then the third tower is network security, which we shall talk in detail in a short while today, wherein we offer network and app segmentation features, threat prevention, detection and response, and secure access to your applications and corporate environment out of our NSX, SD-WAN, and SASE catalogs. This, supporting pillars are basically taking us towards the overall workload security of your environment. But we definitely need some specialized workload security products as well, which are coming from the vSphere, vSAN catalog and Carbon Black catalog as well. So vSphere, vSAN are our compute, virtual compute and infrastructure and storage offerings, but they have inbuilt security features as well, bolstering the organizations to achieve their security goals and a healthy security posture. So here comes the star of the show, VMware NSX security. So it is basically has multiple components into the portfolio. So first and foremost, in the modern networking and network security portfolio of VMware, we have software-defined networking kind of features, switching and routing, overlay switching and routing, which VMware is very popular for. Then we have the next generation distributed firewall, which has IDPS and NTA and NDR modules as well, which is we are going to talk in detail today. We have application load balancer, which has GSLB features, web application security by WAF, and container ingress features as well. We have Tanzu service mesh into this catalog. So which is actually a combination, a hybrid of Tanzu offering and the NSX offering, and which lets you have a complete control over your containers, over your application, distributed into a heterogeneous environment of hybrid and cloud. Then we have connectivity solutions like cloud connectivity, SD-WAN, and SASE offerings, which are offering connectivity across your clouds and your branches and edge locations as well. Interestingly, we have network visibility solutions as well, which basically take inputs from your distributed environments, from heterogeneous environments, do a lot of analysis, and gives you meaningful insight and meaningful metadata about what's happening at the network layer, into your complete environment. And all these solutions are compatible for any form factor. It could be securing and managing the networks of VM, of bare metals, of containers, or your cloud workloads as well. So let's look into the distributed firewall with other security features as well in a bit more. So let's look at the key use cases of the portfolio that we are discussing today. First and foremost, it is used for segmentation and micro segmentation. It's a software-defined distributed firewall at the core of it. It basically secures the communication across your workloads. It is east-west a security specialist solution, and which lets you secure communication again amongst your VDI as well. The second use case for the same is ransomware prevention. It has the AI equipped sandbox solution as well, which helps you in detecting zero-day malware that may be creeping up into your environment. Moving towards zero trust, achieving zero trust architecture is another use case, because it is basically attaching the security with every workload. It is not trusting any of the IT entity, and which is required, which is a imperative requirement for zero trust architecture. It lets you achieve it supports achieving a lot of compliances like PCI DSS and HIPAA, which mandate you to achieve network security zones into your environment. Threat prevention is other use case of the same. It has the IPS feature as well, so which does signature based and anomaly based detection of intrusions into your environment. Appliance consolidation is a very interesting use case of our offering. So traditionally, the IDS, IPS, the firewalls have been into a physical form factor, or even if virtual firewall, they are used, implemented in a central location, but but remain separate appliances only for different feature. Our solution is a software-defined solution, and it consolidates all these features, all these appliances into one composite software solution. Virtual patching is very interesting use case. It's very difficult for any organizations to keep all of your applications databases patched, because your applications may be in production and databases may be in production. They may be legacy applications which cannot be patched easily. So what it does is, on interim basis, the IPS looks for the traffic which may potentially exploit the vulnerabilities that you have in your environment, and that's how. And then it seizes that particular traffic which may potentially exploit, and that's how it virtually patches the vulnerabilities at the network layer itself. Virtual zones, we all know, zones have been requirement have been quite conventional, I would say, and it is basically letting you achieve different zones, into your environment to achieve air gaps and separation between vendor partner or multi-tenancy as well into your corporate networks. So let's dissect this NSX firewall a bit. It basically has two modules, execution modules, which are distributed firewall and access control module, and advanced threat protection module, which is giving IDPS and NTA and NDR features. And it is managed by a common unified management and analytics layer, which is basically letting you managing the policies globally from a central pane of glass. It is doing the dashboarding and alerting function as well. It is giving you NDR alerts too. And very interestingly, along with NSX intelligence, it observes the traffic, the security incidents into your environment, and basis that, it automatically gives you rule recommendation for fine tuning of your policies, of your firewall and of your IDPS. So that's how the NSX intelligence basically captures the data from your environment itself and automatically recommends you policy fine tuning into your environment. There is second part to NSX intelligence as well, which is external intelligence coming in from VMware threat analysis unit. So that's how the intelligence factor, network intelligence factor in your environment becomes even more stronger. So with the advancement of attacks and the proliferation and the lateral movement the attacks are making, east-west traffic has become the new battleground now. It's no more, gone are the days when you were able to secure your perimeter, then your entire corporate network was secured. So it has slowly it has diminished, and now it has the secure perimeter has completely vanished from the IT environments. So let's look at the traditional architecture of East-West security. It used to be separate appliances placed in a separate in a specific network segment, and all the workloads used to go to the firewall, to the IDPS, doing the hairpinning of traffic, which was very not efficient at all, and it used to lead the organization into a lot of throughput constraints. So customers were forced to do selective security execution only. They were not able to secure entire traffic flow, especially the internal traffic flow into their environment, because there were throughput constraints, throughput limitations of the firewalls, IDPS, etc. And it was complex as well to enhance the security and provision new security into your environment. And the policy management was really complex, because there were separate appliances having separate management consoles. So VMware NSX security answers these challenges, these questions completely by modern distributed architecture of East-West security, wherein leveraging the hypervisor access that we have into the IT environment, we apply security policies and security, the firewall, IDPS security, along with each workload. It's not at a specific network segment anymore. It is security everywhere, enabling you to prevent this blind spot into your environment completely. It's a single composite software solution, as I previously also mentioned, having firewall, IDPS, NT, and NDR module. So it's very, I would say, vis-a-vis the traditional ways of managing, it's very comprehensive and easy to manage solution. It's completely scalable, as it is software defined. You can scale your environments up to any level. And in terms of throughput, this has been tested. The solution has been tested to support throughput of more than 20 terabytes at the firewall layer. And it does not require any network changes into your network fabric. You can continue to use your network the way you have been doing. So it is like complete plug and play solution for your network. So let's see what exactly workload attached security policy is. So what happens is whenever a new workload is provisioned into your environment, it could be application, it could be database or anything. It inherits the policies, security policies meant for that workload, basis the category of that workload itself. It may be happening basis the app ID or the asset ID. Most often, that is the parameter to inherit the policies, from the parent group. So whenever the workload is provisioned, it comes with the security policy inbuilt. So you don't have to get into the worries of configuring the firewall every time you are, invoking any specific workload into your environment. And it retires with the workload as well. So there is no problem of having stale rules into your firewall configuration in your security controls configuration. So the security policies, the rules, vanishes along with the workload when it is retiring. And it is making the security policy completely portable as well. So if your workload is moving from one environment to another, you don't have to separately configure your security control in the new environment. So the workload moves to the new environment along with the policies itself. And this has been tested. This entire phenomenon has been tested to bring down the number of rules by as much as 90% into customers' environments. So let's look the three major features of security control one by one first, and then we'll talk about NDR as well. First and foremost, the firewall distributed firewall to achieve segmentation in your environment. Segmentation is pretty simple. You want to block the communication of your, the simplest example is you want to block your communication of your development environment to the production environment. Now, micro segmentation is that if you want to further drill down and you want to implement granular controls, granular security into your, for example, into your dev environment itself, you want your dev environment of one application to not to talk to another application. That can be achieved by the distributed firewall and by the micro segmentation VMware NSX firewall is bringing in. Let's look the anatomy of NTA, network traffic analysis. So network traffic analysis all starts with the learning mode. It stays in your environment and learn the normal behavior of your network. And whenever it finds any suspicious user, processing any suspicious data, and if that suspicious entity is making any lateral movement into your environment, so that is an anomaly detected by the NTA, because it's not a normal behavior of your network, and it raises the respective alert for the same. And it's completely tapless since again it is hypervisor integrated a solution. So you don't need to get into the hassles of configuring tap ports into your switches and routers. So it is a very, very agile and comprehensive way of doing the network traffic analysis into your environment. Let's look at the anatomy of IPS now. IPS is basically going to inspect the allowed traffic, the allowed flows, by your firewall. So which adversaries may be potentially exploiting the legitimate traffic itself, the legitimate route. So it matches those flows with the signature it has. And in case it any particular traffic meets the signature condition, it throws the alert if it is IDS, and it blocks the communication if it is executed in the prevention mode. Let's talk about network detection and response now. So network detection and response is basically taking inputs from these three network security controls, which is tapless NTA, sandbox, and distributed IDPS as well. And the events, it is basically correlating into its correlation engine against machine learning and human expertise as well. And it is taking intelligence from threat analysis unit of VMware, as I previously mentioned, from the external world as well over the internet, and that's how it becomes a complete full-fledged correlation engine. So what it does is, these security solutions may be generating thousands of events. So what happens, what really matters for a security analysis team is to basically find out very meaningful, events out of those, alerts generated by those security controls. So what security analysis team is trying to do is they are trying to find out the intrusions, and not only events, but that intrusion intelligence, that insight will come from the events itself. So it comps those thousands of events, to hundreds, finding the most threat-related, intrusion-related events, and then connects the dots amongst those hundreds of events as well. So that we can produce timelines that show the progress and the impact of every breach into your environment. And this helps. Multiple events may be meaning something more. There may be a campaign, complete attack campaign, which may be launched in your environment, which is very difficult to be determined basis the individual events coming in from security controls. So this correlation becomes imperative if you want to find out the larger, if you want to see the bigger picture from attack per se in your environment. So this is where the NDR solution of VMware helps a lot. So our NDR solution, the network NDR solution, along with the VMware Carbon Black, the endpoint security solution EDR, has been tested to generate 100% efficacy against the 12 tactics defined in MITRE ATT&CK framework. And this test was done by none other than MITRE's organization itself, MITRE Ingenuity. And the malwares were supplied by a very commercial organization of supplying malwares for testing purposes, which is Fin7. So it came out 100% efficient in each step for each tactic that was tested. More accolades for our NDR solution. Not only MITRE Ingenuity, it was tested by SC Labs as well to produce results with 100% fidelity, 100%, which is constituted by 100% detection accuracy, legitimity accuracy, and 0% false positives when it comes to detect the network threats by correlating various data. So let's see what value this VMware NSX security brings to the table. First and foremost, it is, as I mentioned, you don't need to make any network changes into many major network changes into in your environment. It works in your existing network itself. It can be implemented easily. Then it's not leaving any blind spots because it is workload attached. Each feature, each security module is workload attached. So there is no chance of getting any workload, any threat missing from the detection. It is operationally very simple because for all the features, it's just one console that you have to manage. It's a one single pane of glass management and visibility and analytics platform that this particular solution is providing to you. And there are substantial monetary benefits as well. It has tested to reduce the capex and opex expenses of organizations substantially, and you can see the numbers on the screen. So with this, I would wrap up my presentation, and I'm happy to take up your questions you have.